All right, everybody, welcome in season 2, episode 23, NBA Finals edition of the Swishlist Podcast. Let's get right into it. We've got 2 games to talk about. We just finished game 2. What was that? What was that?
For a terrible shooting from both teams. That's what I saw tonight. That's what I
Wow.
see.
Mm,
It was bad. It was extremely bad. Neither team had any rhythm, which
yeah.
especially hurts the Celtics because they
Does it?
thrive on the point shooting.
I don't think it
But
does. They were fine.
obviously not tonight. Obviously not tonight. I mean, if they shoot well from the 3-point line, it's the exact same result as game 1. But I think
100%.
that's the difference, and it's showing up. This team is the best team in the NBA. And now they're showing it against competition. And it also doesn't help that Kyrie Irving decided not really to show up today.
Again. Yeah, the Boston Celtics are literally his kryptonite ever since he played there. I don't know, man. This is what it feels like to me. Drew Holiday canceled out Luka. Like, and then what's crazy is the Celtics don't have to play well and they will still win. Jason Tatum did not play well. Jaylen Brown did not play well. He reverted back to I can't dribble with my left hand, Jaylen Brown. Uh Porzingis, he was not as electric as he was in game 1. Derek White was off and on. He had moments where he made just the most clutch plays, but it's not like he was a 30-point a game guy. I don't know, dude. There's just this inevitability to the Boston Celtics in this series, and to me, it feels like Dallas is a team that they play at Luka's pace, but they don't accelerate who they're playing against. And if you let Boston get set, like they're too good defensively. They rotate too well.
They shut down Kyrie today.
Oh
And I
my
mean, even
gosh.
even Luka,
Clamped him.
it didn't feel like he had a good triple-double like he
Yeah.
usually has. It was another slow start for Kyrie. I mean, he ended the first quarter fine, but they shut down Kyrie. He didn't have like a clean look at the basket throughout the
Mm-mm.
entire game. I didn't feel like maybe a couple times, but we didn't get the usual takeover from these two guys that we see at the end of the game. And this is exactly what the Boston Celtics are built to do.
Well, they were going to, right? So Dallas is down by like 5 or 7 points, and Kyrie gets the ball with Tatum on him, and Tatum picked him,
He
and that
did.
was
He
it.
did.
Like that was the game. Like when
Mhm.
he picked him, I was like, oh, that's it. It's over.
And it
Like
seemed like that's what they were doing to Kyrie the whole time. Jaylen Brown did it early in the game too.
he
Like
picked Luka too.
it seemed like they were taking the two matchups very personal. And I say this a lot. There's a good 30-point game and there's a bad 30-point game. And Luka had a bad 30-point game.
I don't know if you can say bad because it really felt like every shot he was shooting was going in. In the first half, he was ridiculous again.
First half he was incredible. That's where he had the majority of his points. But
Yeah.
it wasn't terrible for him, but it wasn't the usual takeover that I was expecting.
I'm not laying this at the feet of Luka. For me, I don't know because PJ Washington played pretty good. I, it feels like the centers have disappeared. I mean,
Stafford had a few moments, but
he did
Lively
have
was non-existent tonight.
no, and then I texted you. I texted you because I was asking myself, why is Maxi Kleber in the game defending Jaylen Brown? Of course, they're gonna exploit that matchup. I like it.
Their matchups don't make any sense. I don't know what they're doing out
No,
there.
I don't know either. It feels like Boston is like, you know what? Like when Luka shoots, it feels automatic. It feels like every time he shoots the ball, it's going to go in. And I think Boston's like, we're okay if you score all these points. We know we can't stop you, but we can stop Kyrie and we can shut down the pick and roll. And that's what we're going to do. If there's 2 things that they've done in these first 2 games, it's they have defended the pick and roll incredibly well, and they've stopped Kyrie Irving.
Agreed. Kyrie is supposed to be one of their level-headed guys. You don't depend as much on your stars.
Yeah.
Luka and Kyrie are supposed to give you those 30-point nights, especially in the finals. Can our role players do what they're supposed to do? Luka did what he needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie didn't do what he needed to do, and it ends up in a close game loss for them.
Well, and we're also in this, like, weird spot, like, I am shocked how many people picked Dallas to win the series. I don't like,
It's just Boston haters. There's so many people who don't wanna see them shine.
that they just are like, "Okay, we're gonna have to take Dallas." I I've never seen we've seen dominance. I think of Golden State where it was inevitable they were gonna be in the finals, like, there were years, the Kevin Durant years, you just knew they were gonna win. Like, it was not a question, but in those finals, there weren't games where they collectively didn't play well and won games, like, they just were better, and their best players just played at a level that just nobody could stop them. Boston, I'm watching the game, and I'm like, "Man, Boston kinda sucks tonight," and they're up by 6 points. It's like Luka is balling out, he's going crazy, he's having a Luka game, and they're losing by 4 points.
This is what the Celtics are built to do. It
If you
doesn't matter
don't
who has night.
if you don't win this game, how do you win any game?
Well, I mean, it's the playoffs.
Tatum missed 6 threes in a row before he made 1. If you can't win this, what can you win?
But now they get to go back home.
But they're down 2.
But, I mean, if you think about it, that's what Boston is supposed to do, defend home court. This team is incredible on their home floor.
Yeah,
They're also incredible on the road.
No. Boston is not incredible on their home floor. They've been better on the road.
Well, that doesn't mean they're not good on their home court. Yes, they are better on the road, but
They've been like 500.
really?
Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh. Boston
For a team that
Celtics
won 60 plus games?
play in the playoffs.
Oh, playoffs. Yeah. I mean, they've only lost 2 games in the playoffs. They're on a 9-game win streak. But yeah, I think both of their 2 losses, it was game 2 versus Miami, and then it was game 2 versus the Cavs.
Brother, if you can't win this game, I just don't know how you can string together 4 wins. You can't. The biggest thing that Dallas can do at this point is they can try to earn some respect. Like, they can, like, I don't
They
know.
have to win game 3 if they want any sort of chance at anything. They have to win game 3. You can't lose 3, win 4, like,
If you
can't be
lose game 3, I don't even think anybody watches game 4, dude. I don't even think people are gonna turn on the television.
I would hate it as an NBA fan. Because
Be
it's
awful.
just over. It'll
You
feel just like last year. It's just a short finals. We knew who was gonna win, but yeah, I really wanted Kyrie to show up in the second half, and he didn't. He just didn't.
I told Day, I was like, "This is gonna be a short pod," because there's just not much to say. Like, there's no controversy here. Like, what are we supposed to discuss?
I mean, the progression of the game, the Mavericks started out really good.
Mhm.
It seemed like their pace was gonna be really good.
They started out better for sure.
Kyrie hit a little step back. He's saying stuff to the crowd. Luka's hitting all these mid-range shots, talking to the crowd. And then it was just kinda back and forth until the end of the first half, and then, I mean, you blink, and it's the middle of the 3rd quarter, and the Celtics are up by 12, and you're like, "What just happened there? Like,
Yeah.
how did this happen?" And then it's just like game 1 where it's this battle back. They cut it to a certain deficit. They cut it to 8 in game 1. They cut it to 7 in this game, but the experience shows up. Derek White making clutch shots, clutch blocks. There's Mavericks fans saying that the fast break where Kyrie gave it up to PJ, he got fouled by both of them. But again, that only cuts it to 5. That's a lot
Yeah,
of what is.
you're not winning the game. You're still not winning the game.
Yeah, and this is the Celtics. I mean, it's not a team that's inefficient on the offensive end. Most likely, they're going to get a good-looking shot.
Well, let's say they get those points. All that all the Celtics did was exactly what we talked about earlier. They gave the ball to Jaylen Brown. They got him the matchup they wanted with Kleber guarding him. he took him right to the hole and scored it. And then it goes back up to 7 instead of 9. So, like, congratulations, you're up by 5. You still would have been exploited. Now, I would have understood if they wanted to go defense for offense and you're playing lively there for Kleber and then you sub him in on the offensive possession. But to have him in there, I didn't understand it.
Mhm.
I did
Yeah,
not
to
understand
rush
it.
him, not rush him, but I mean, they've made this playoff run, most of it without him, and Josh Hart mentioned it too. I mean, I don't know if he looked nervous, but that's what Josh Hart said in the post game, that Maxey probably shouldn't have been out there in a certain moment,
He shouldn't have been
and
out there.
he was. He was.
Yeah, he
So,
should have been out there. Okay, but so here's the other thing too. Boston is getting away with the craziest lineups in the series. At one point, this was when Tatum took that really bad turnaround jump shot at the right elbow.
mhm.
He missed it badly. It was Derek White, Drew Holiday, it was Peyton Pritchard, Jason Tatum, and Al Horford. And I literally was sitting there and I was going, Boston is running 3-point guards right now. And they're continuing to win this game. Like the lineups that they're getting away with they blow my mind. I can't understand. I literally was sitting there and I was like, they're going 3-point guards, Jason Tatum and Al Horford, and they're not getting exploited. I can't believe this. Like, it's over.
I don't know.
Like, Sam Hauser is like looks like an elite defender. What's going on?
He was locking up PJ for a minute.
He was locked in.
He's not hitting his shots, but
No.
if there's one thing he's proved this year is that he can actually play some defense. So
Yeah.
not up to him, but the guard lineup, that's what they really do. I mean, they're bringing Porzingis off the bench now. I mean, hopefully he's okay. It looked like he hurt his calf
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, he looked like he wasn't healthy. I wouldn't even play him in game 3. You don't need to.
He's just been so elite.
He's been so good.
The Mavericks are switching these pick and rolls with him, and all he has to do is just look at the hoop. Nobody's tall enough to even put a hand in it.
And it's a block party, dude. He's getting blocks. Derek White's getting blocks. Jaylen Brown's getting blocks. Al Horford, it's a block party in the paint, dude. When Derek White swatted Kyrie, when he volleyball spiked Kyrie, I was like, holy crap.
Kyrie's signature, hold it,
Yes.
wait, let me adjust, I'm gonna let you go by me.
And then, yeah.
The perfect matchup. That's what these guys do. That's what they do. And Drew Holiday was unbelievable today.
I think he was 11 for 14, 26 points. Second most he's scored in that Celtics jersey.
Like, if he catches the ball in the paint, it looks like it's going in no matter what. I don't care what hand he's going up with, what angle it's going up from. He is incredibly efficient with his moves, his timing. He's the guy that everybody wants on their team. They were talking about this during the game. Like,
Oh, dude.
he has the highest win percentage in the last 4 years, like since COVID.
Yeah.
He's the guy that anybody wants on their team.
Well, and he's just he always lets the game come to him. He's the perfect
so paid.
He is the perfect third option. He may be one of the greatest third options in basketball because he never
1 option, a 2 option, now a 3 option, and they'll give you 26 points.
he doesn't overvalue himself. He takes the challenge on defense. He makes the right play consistently, and he takes timely shots and makes them. Like, there's no question why that man's going to be on Team USA. No question. Because he is there may never have been a better glue guy in the history of the league. Like, you could call him Glue Holiday. That should be his nickname. I'm serious. His nickname should be Glue Holiday because he is the greatest glue guy I've seen in the past decade. I swear.
He'll take any matchup. Any matchup.
So
He plays beautiful basketball.
we're 2 games in. Talk to me. Finals MVP halfway through the series, because that's what it feels like. Who are you giving the award to right now? Who's trending to win it?
It's Jaylen Brown. It's Jaylen Brown.
Really?
Especially media picks it. This isn't based off stats. He's taking the Luka matchup. He's the one
Facts.
who's dominating on the offensive end. He's making big plays, electric plays. He's doing it all. I mean, Drew Holiday had a great game. Probably been the most impactful player. Jason Tatum, it's not like he's taking a backup role, but this dude is almost averaging a triple-double. He had 10 assists halfway through the third quarter.
Yeah, he had 8
He's
at
doing what
halftime.
his team needs him to do, getting and ones, moving the ball, driving kicks. He's winning. It's winning plays.
And he's being aggressive. He went for 3 dunks. He didn't make a single one of them, but he was going for the highlight play. Like,
Yeah.
he was going for it. Tatum would win it if half of the shots he's missed go in.
Yes, I completely agree. I think he's one rebound away from a triple-double tonight.
Mhm.
If he puts together a few 30-point games for 3 and 4, or 2 out of the 3 games probably that we see for the finals, then maybe he can make a case for it. But if Jaylen Brown keeps defending the way he has, if he gets up a left-handed layup a game,
Oh my god.
I think this guy's going to win MVP. At this point, if we called it now, I'm giving it to Jaylen Brown. I think he's been the best player.
Why do people what is it that people have against Tatum?
It's the narrative, the what he does to the media, the Kobe texts. It's the not winning. I think that's a big part of it. The expectation was so high for this guy coming into a Celtics team who was already successful before he got there. The narrative was the reason this team shouldn't be a champion in a couple of years back in 2017.
Mm.
So the fact that we're in 2024, this is his second finals appearance. I think it's just a lot of anger of this guy should have won before.
Yeah. Yeah, and like the Kobe nods, I think, are not helping him. Even wearing the Kobe draft shirt for game 1, it's
The
like,
"I got you today," that's the worst thing he could have done.
I just don't get it because, like, he doesn't back it up.
Never had.
He never has backed it up. Even if he wins this ring, he didn't back it up. I think that with Tatum, it's like we wanted Tatum to be the guy, he's just not the guy. It's like when you watched, was it Spy Kids 3? And all of a sudden you see the dude walk in, he goes, "I'm the guy." And he gets 1 shot and he has like 99 lives to 0. And all of a sudden I think that Junie ends up having to be the guy. Like, that's literally what it is. Tatum walks in, he's like, "I'm the guy." And then he hits 3 dunks off the front of the rim. And we're looking at Jaylen Brown like, I guess it's him.
I guess you're the guy.
I guess
That's
you're the guy. I don't
that's
know.
comparison.
I think what's tough is Tatum he's a good dude. Like, at heart, he's a really good dude. Um, I don't think you can knock the guy you can't knock the guy in terms of his character, in terms of his willingness to show up and play his best, and he owns his mistakes. But he just there's this it quality that he just doesn't quite have. He's got all the pieces of a 1A player, but he's a 1C player.
He's not even
That
really the go-to guy at the end of the games. Like,
No, no,
he
no, no,
hasn't
no,
been.
no.
It's Derek White holding the ball up
Well,
top.
what would you
He's
say
bouncing Jaylen Brown.
what would you say Tatum's, like, signature move is?
His step back 3.
Yeah, but, that's not even a good shot for him.
He hasn't been hitting it, but when I think of
No.
Tatum, I think of
The sidestep 3?
yeah, that's what I meant. The sidestep 3, or the mid-range shots. Not like he's doing the crazy stuff around the rim. He's a good finisher, but the most signature thing that I can think of is his sidestep body roll 3.
Yeah. Man, dude, I don't know. It feels, and I'm biased, right? Like, I'm biased. I got the Ant-Man shirt right now, okay? I'm biased. But it feels like guys like Ant, they just have this it factor. Luka has it factor. He's got this aura.
Right.
when you look at those guys, because it's not like Anthony Edwards is a winner. I mean, he's taken Minnesota as far as they've ever been in the history of the franchise. So to Minnesota, he's a winner, but in NBA terms, he hasn't won anything. What's the difference between guys like Ant who haven't won anything, but seem to be getting that, like the snowballs rolling for him, whereas Tatum has won at a high level. He's been in the finals. He's about to win his first finals, but just doesn't have it. Like what's the difference?
The difference, it's age here. If we go back to 2018, 2019,
Mhm.
Jason Tatum was getting these comparisons. It's that it's time. He's 26 now, and it's the continuous joke of Jason Tatum's only 19. Like, people
Yeah.
still make jokes about it because it's like, this he's been young for so long. We're
Him and
forgetting
him
how
and
old he
him
is
and
now.
Devin Booker have never aged.
Yeah, like they've been young stars their entire career, no matter if they're supposed to be in their prime or not.
Mhm.
But Ant is he's so young. He's 22. I'm sure
Yeah.
we were saying the same thing about Jason Tatum 4 or 5 years ago. Like, yeah, there's the people saying Ant's never won. It was the same thing for him. Went to the Eastern Conference Finals but lost. Um, Luka, super consistent guy, but he's never won anything, and he's a little bit younger, a little bit different case because he's, the European prodigy.
Yeah.
But I think every case is different. But for Jason Tatum, he's kind of dug himself a bit of a hole.
Yeah, shifting gears to Luka and Dallas, this to me feels like Luka's character development. Like this is his canon event. He has to lose this finals to and don't it wouldn't surprise me if losing this finals is actually what gets him to like lock in and take nutrition more seriously in the off season to get in better shape. I'm never gonna say Lucas should reinvent his game. I that is like blasphemous. But in terms of work ethic through the off season, how he takes care of his body and things of that nature, I do believe there's a genuine belief that he could go another level. And if there's one thing that this series proves, or shows, is that if Luka wants to win at this level, he might need to take a few things a little bit more seriously. And it may not be for him. It may not be for him, but it's the type of thing that everybody else sees and it raises the standard.
I
Right?
agree. I agree. We're probably gonna look back on this and, uh, Luka the champion 2027,
Yeah.
whatever year, and it's gonna be, that loss made me realize what kind of work it takes to be a champion. That
Yeah.
type of I could definitely see that happen.
That this is what it feels like to me. It's the Dirk Nowitzki track reincarnated, where Dirk lost that finals
Lose
and
6, yeah.
he loses it in '06. He loses to Wade and Shaq, and he said, like, "If I don't lose that finals, I don't win in 2011." I think it's gonna be the same, except that Luka has this aptitude for greatness that's higher than Dirk. I don't think anybody would be surprised if I said, when Luka retires, he's gonna have 3 championships. You go, "Yeah, I could see it." Because I just think he has that ceiling. But I do believe that this is a series that opens that door for him. If you're the Dallas Mavericks, you're looking at kind of what's going on. You're Jason Kidd. You go into that locker room. What message are you trying to give your team?
Like I said earlier, they covered home court. That's what they were supposed to do.
Mm,
Now it's our chance to go and do the same thing. That I mean, that's really all you can say. I mean, you gotta move on from it, but the message should be, now we get to go back home.
I think for me, I'd probably go in there and I would say, look, guys, it's time for us to focus on going home, and we got to take this series one game at a time. Let's stop looking at the finals as the finals. Let's stop looking at it as a 7-game series. Let's focus on this one game and let's figure out what we need to do to win this one game with 2 games worth of data to help us make the best decisions possible. Like, let's not look at it like we got to win the next 2, we got to win this, that, or the other. Let's just focus on this one game. It's not game 3, it's the next game. Look at this as the next game. Figure out what you want to do to play better in the next game, and let's go win the next game. And I think that's probably my message, because when they turn on the TV, that's all they're going to hear, right? It's your turn. It's your time to defend home court. And I want my message to cut different than what they're hearing everybody else say. The hope is that it does kind of create this us against everybody else. There's this common theme in the locker room. I don't know. Am I crazy? That's kind of the direction I'm going.
No, I mean, it's valid, but I just coming from a player coach standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
I assume Jason Kidd keeps it real with them, and he tells them they defended their home court, and now it's our chance to do that. But if he takes that route that you're talking about, I think it could be successful for them too, because you're down 2-0. You can't look at it as you're down 2-0. You have to
Yeah.
look at it as we just need to win the next one. So whatever Jason Kidd decides to say, it'll probably work, because it seems like they've been in similar type situations. I mean, they started off the series to the Clippers with a huge L, and they
Yeah.
bounced. So it's just another bounce back moment for the team. And if any team can do it, it's a team who has faced some adversity and made it to the finals. So, I mean, only time will tell, but we're here now, and in a few days we'll get to see what they come out with at home.
I don't know about you. I feel like that really wraps up any coverage that we've got for the finals. I mean, I've got Boston winning it. I had Boston winning it going in. I thought it was going to be a 6-game series. I thought Dallas was going to come in and win this game. They didn't. But there is other news that's happening in the basketball space, and believe it or not, it's the WNBA. I mean, there has been so much that's come out with the Caitlin Clark stuff, the players shoving her down, Angel Reese cheering on the sideline when it happens, Angel Reese wanting to claim that, she's also the reason why women's basketball is as big as it is, and that she deserves a bunch of praise, which I think is a crazy statement to make. Whether it's true or not, it's a wild statement to make publicly, not privately, not that it gets leaked, not that it's like your friend saying this is how she feels, but to say it publicly is crazy. But beyond that, it was Caitlin Clark not making Team USA, and one of the reasoning being that they were afraid of what the fans would do if she didn't play a lot of minutes. So now we're keeping players off of teams because of hypothetical circumstances. That's like saying LeBron James can't be on Team USA because the bronze sexuals out there would lose it if he doesn't play enough. This is ridiculous.
It's a very sorry excuse.
What the heck is going on?
I have learned there is so much pettiness in that league. There is
Yes.
an unmeasurable amount of drama that just comes from hate, just pure hate.
Yeah.
And at first I didn't want to believe it, but it all started when national championship game ends and Diana Taurasi decides to be like, reality is coming. And you get it's like when LeBron came into the league and they're interviewing the Cavs and they're like, I don't think a player can come in and affect us like that. But this is like an entire league. This isn't just a team.
It's everybody, dude.
And I saw this, it was a comment and it said, they are quite literally biting the hand that feeds them.
Yeah.
The hate is from the one person who is making any sort of coverage possible for your league. You got players still complaining about having to fly commercial. And this is still a nonprofit league besides Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
There's so much hate. And it's quite sad. I don't know why Team USA wouldn't put Caitlin Clark on the team besides being petty.
Okay. And why is Diana Taurasi still on the freaking team, dude? She's played like 140 games for Team USA. Why don't you just hang it up and let somebody else play, for the love? Oh,
Okay, we
my
need to see her
gosh.
stat line. I need
Oh my gosh. She's
I'm looking
so
up.
Look
I'm
it up
looking up
right now. I think she's played 138 games for Team USA, dude. It is ridiculous. How long is the WNBA season? Bro, the WNBA season is 40 games. Okay? She's played 3.5 seasons just for the Team USA in comparison to the WNBA. It's ridiculous.
She's averaging 16.5 and just under 2 assists.
You don't think Caitlin Clark could give you 16?
Caitlin is putting up better numbers, but on a worse team.
Okay. And like, dude, yeah, but you can't double Caitlin Clark for Team USA. She's getting the open looks.
Mm-hmm.
And she's making them. It's bro, one of the things that made the dream team was that they were must-see TV for anybody that never would have the chance to see all of these guys play the game of basketball. I'm not saying Caitlin Clark is going to create a women's version of the dream team, but this was the greatest opportunity in the history of women's basketball to have all eyes on your sport, and you absolutely just threw it away.
Completely.
I just can't wrap my mind around it. I don't believe that people should make it easy. You bring up a great point, and I think that more people on national television should bring up this point. There's 2 players that they should talk about when they're saying, "Hey, when have we seen this Caitlin Clark stuff happen before?" Lonzo Ball was a huge one, but that was because of his father. And there were a ton of players that were like, I'm going to make tonight hell for you because of your dad." And the other is LeBron James, where people were like, "Oh, we're going to talk like LeBron James he's the second coming." I don't believe it. I don't believe this guy's going to be that great. And then they saw him play. And they were like, "No, this guy's actually amazing." Like,
Exactly what it is. And
and
great example is 2004 Olympics team and 2012 Olympics team.
Mm.
We have a first year LeBron James on the team.
Mhm.
2012, we have Anthony Davis, who has never played an NBA game,
Yes.
on Team USA.
Yes.
So it's not like it's never been done before.
Oh, dude, Christian Laettner was
Christian
on
Laettner, yeah.
Christian Laettner was on a team.
He was the dream team.
He was on the dream team. Like, we kept Isaiah Thomas off the dream team. We had Christian Laettner. You're telling me we can't sit Diana Taurasi and bring Caitlin Clark?
No, in terms of USA viewership, I don't know how much it's going to affect worldwide viewership
Sure.
for women
Sure.
women's Olympic basketball, but
Yes.
for Team USA, if you want your people watching your game, why wouldn't you bring the most popular woman in the sport with you?
And it gets worse, dude. Now that I saw I can't remember who it was, somebody in the WNBA. They said that people want to talk about how this rookie draft class is one of the best rookie draft classes. They're like, this isn't even the best one in the last 10 years. We've had multiple draft classes better than this one. It's like, what is wrong with you people? Cameron Brink is just catching strays for no reason. She's been legit. Like, what are we doing?
It's an elite level of pettiness.
These people,
Hate is real.
There's that weird statistic. Nearly 1/3 of all lottery winners go broke. It's a ridiculous stat that you win hundreds of millions of dollars and you go broke. And the reason why is because these people are not ready to have that much money. They don't know what to do with it. And so they just blow it. And to me, it feels like the WNBA won the lottery. They hit on 3 picks. Caitlin Clark is massive. She is the hero. Angel Reese is the villain. She is the counterpart to Caitlin Clark. She is willing to be the villain. I think she's widely considered the villain. I don't believe there's a race thing with Caitlin Clark. I think the race stuff is ridiculous. I think the fact that she's a straight woman is ridiculous. Sabrina Ionescu is straight and a baller and awesome. And I don't think it has anything to do with it. So I don't think it's a race thing. I think those arguments are ridiculous. They're narrative driven. It's people trying to get clicks on ESPN. And Cameron Brink is just solid. She's got ties to Steph Curry and has been great and is playing in LA. Like, the WNBA hit the lottery, put it into a parlay, and then won the parlay, and then decided that they were going to light the money on fire like the Joker. I've never seen anything like this. It's just like these people, they don't want to actually be successful. They don't want to be famous, or they want all the things. They want what they can't have. Now it's our fault because we didn't cover the league 3 years ago or 5 years ago. One person on their phone is saying, "Have you talked to Caitlin Clark?" And all of a sudden they're calling it harassment. We deserve private jets, even though our league doesn't make any revenue. The first person to sell out arenas, we're just going to ostracize and literally try to like put her on the sideline. We're going to try and injure her. I have no problem with hard fouls. I have no problem with teams wanting to be aggressive and wanting her to prove herself. It's all the off the floor stuff that just I can't wrap my head around.
It's too much. It's so forced, and maybe it's a plan to just keep drawing media in. Bad publicity is still some sort of publicity, so they get
Any publicity is good publicity.
they get something out of it. So maybe it's a media thing, but I mean, it can't be if you're kicking her off, not kicking her off, but not including her on Team USA.
Not even giving her a chance. Not even giving her a chance is crazy.
And it's what's being talked about right now. So it wasn't just going to be like this, let's move on. It's going to be talked about through the entire thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't plan on watching any of the games now.
Nope.
I'm going to be honest. I like watching Caitlin Clark. I don't like watching really anybody else. I'll watch Caitlin.
Diana Taurasi's been playing for years. She's never drawn anybody to a television set. Never.
Maybe we're a little biased, but I think it's pretty obvious that there is a level of hate going on around Caitlin Clark, and that's how it is with any star. But it really hurts to see because she's such a humble person. She never has ill intent at all, and it's all just crashing down.
Yeah, and this is the price of fame for the WNBA as a whole. Like just go look at what people say about LeBron James, Jason Tatum, Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving. Name the great player. Let's not forget, people hated Kobe Bryant. People hated Kobe Bryant. There were commercials about how much people hated Kobe Bryant when he played. People hated that man. It comes with the territory. People hate Tom Brady. People hate Patrick Mahomes. People hate these teams because they're great. And when you get a taste of greatness, you gotta be ready. Okay. If you're not, it's like if you're playing video games in a dark room and your mom comes and turns the lights on. You gotta be ready for the moment. Okay. You can't just you can't be closing your eyes trying to wave around and figure out what's going on. You gotta be ready when the lights come on, because the lights are here now. People they're interested. And if you don't figure it out, you're going to go right back to where you were before.
Yeah, she's piqued people's interest, and they're shutting her down. It doesn't make any sense from any standpoint. This is what they've been searching for years.
Oh, yeah.
Any sort of league. You look back at the NBA, and the lady who was on First Take talking about how you weren't talking about us 3 or 4 years ago. There was times that the NBA was on tape delay.
Okay. Well, yeah. Yes, and there have been multiple times that there have been legitimate female college basketball players on their way into the WNBA that people were interested in. Brittany Griner was a dominant player. People were interested in Brittany Griner when she played in college. And when she went to the WNBA, she disappeared. There were players like Deladon, Skylar Diggins. There were names of these players that we watched. Brianna Stewart. We watched Kelsey Plum. We watched these players. And when they got to that league, it was like Aang. They vanished. the avatar vanished. Okay, that is when they needed when we needed them most. They vanished. Caitlin Clark is the first player to translate. She's the first one to translate where people are still willing to follow and watch and pay attention. Because I genuinely believe that the coverage has been there for the stars as they've gone in, but the league just hasn't been able to put them in a position to actually be successful for anybody to care or for anybody to watch. And now as soon as they've got somebody,
her to.
now they've got somebody and what we have a problem, like, I don't like, what did they want? What was the archetype of a player that they wanted? That's the part I don't get. Like, would it be better if it was Cameron Brink? I don't know.
Her first
No, they
couple of
do.
years.
They
Like, they
do.
want it to be horrible. The Fever barely win. She puts up great numbers, but all these incredible athletes were giving her the hardest time her first few years in the league, and then
They want
she
her to
had
be
a
a bust. They want her to be a bust.
Yeah. The hate is real.
I've never seen anything more toxic in professional sports, maybe in my life,
Me neither.
than the WNBA. Well, if you're still listening, I do just want to let you know we've got, I think, one episode left in us this season before we close things out on season 2 of the Swishlist Podcast. I want to give you guys a preview of really what you're going to see from us. If you're new and you haven't followed the podcast, I want to let you guys know kind of how things go following the finals. Normally, Roman and I, we take a break. We kind of let things settle down a little bit. And then we pop in a couple of times during the when free agency really starts to talk through what players got traded, who got moved, what's going on. There's a really good chance you're going to get a couple episodes around the Team USA games. We're going to talk through kind of what we're seeing on the floor. Can this Avengers squad really do it, given how old everybody is? And then things really start to spool up again as we get closer to the next season. But it's crazy that we're getting close to the end of season 2. This one has been so much fun, mainly because I feel like we've kind of found our lane a little bit more in terms of what we like to talk about and how it flows. I think we've both grown a lot this season, and it's been a ton of fun. Roman, is there anything you want to talk about before we close this thing out?
We covered it. The finals, it's what's going on with the WNBA. That's basketball right now.
That's it, man. I mean, listen, the next time we talk, maybe we'll have another potential Lakers head coach. I'm not sure, but I think it's safe for us to just wait a week before we talk about the Lakers coaching situation, because we might be talking about the wrong candidate. The Dan Hurley stuff, we're going to wait and see. The rumor is $100 million contract is floating out there, 5-7 million, maybe something in that range. And JJ Redick very well may still be on the table. So there is some interest. There are some conversations happening in Lakerland. There's a few coaching decisions that do need to be made, but all of those will hopefully be answered by the time we deliver the next episode. If you're not already giving us a follow, please go ahead and subscribe to this. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Swishlist Pod. Follow us on social media. We're on all your favorite platforms. And make sure to send this episode, if you enjoyed it, to someone that needs to learn the game. Did somebody put money on Dallas and they need to hedge? Send them this episode. Maybe we can help them out. But once again, we appreciate anybody that's listening. And Roman, send us off.
Episode 23, we are winding down. It's coming towards the end. Looks like we might have a champion. We'll keep you updated. We're hoping for a good week for the Mavericks to continue this finals.
Maybe you are. But I don't want the Mavericks.
But I guess we'll just have to see. We're here for you. We want to talk. Let us know your thoughts. If you disagree with any of the points that were made, we're on all your favorite platforms. But leave us a like, leave us a subscribe. That's what we're here for. If you're not, it's getting ridiculous. It's really getting ridiculous. Swishlist Podcast, episode 23. We are out.